Have you ever had this conversation with a close friend or an old acquaintance where you're talking to them after a long time and you get to know that they went through a really hard and dark phase and you had no clue about it? And you wonder and you tell them, why didn't you reach out to me? I was there, I could have at least spoken. Then they say that I didn't want to be a burden on you. And you feel a little bad because you genuinely would have been useful, would have at least given them a few minutes to speak to, and you were not able to. That is what we're going to discuss today. Why this gap, this silence that we are noticing in friendships, especially in your 30s and 40s. Hi, I'm Thorvi. Welcome to the Thorvi podcast. So, this is happening quite often than we notice. Have you noticed it? Do you reach out to a friend when you really, really need someone to speak to? Or you just pick the phone, start dialing, and think they must be busy in their life. Why should I call and then burden them with my sadness? And you've kept the phone aside and continued being sad or dealing with the problem on your own. Because that is what we are told as adults that we need to do, not burden others. But then what's the point of having close friends? Actually, what is the point of having close friends? What do friends do? Why do we need people as friends around us? The answer is witness, to witness each other's lives. All of us are going to lead a life, and not all the time it's going to be exciting. There are going to be small, small things that are going to happen. Who is there to witness it? Yes, maybe our parents when we begin, when we are young, but then we ourselves don't remember those things. It's for our parents to cherish their children. Our siblings are there. Then maybe we have, our teachers. There are a lot of different people and different relationships that happen. Then there are boyfriends and girlfriends. Then there are our spouses. But friends have that capacity of, not being so involved in your life and you witness it. Just to understand that, hey, this happened. And it can be really exciting or really a tragedy that happens. But that's the reason that we want friends. How many of us are going to have a biography written about us? After 2 generations, nobody is going to even remember us. But while we are here, we need witnesses of our lives. But this silence that I have noticed and this lack of reach, and it is quite common. And many clients of mine, many friends of mine, we have realized this. Being deliberate, being deliberate about reaching out is very, very important for our mental health. Most of us live far away. There are very few people, I think, who are lucky to have friends who live nearby in the same city. And even if you're in the same city, if it's a city like Bangalore, you hardly meet because of the traffic, the timing. Just to get out of the house and reach a restaurant is a huge project in itself. And it's not really practical to always constantly be in touch when you have children in the house, when you have your own workload, and especially for women, when you have to worry, okay, now I need to cook, now I need to do the laundry, now there's someone at the door, now I have relatives visiting that I need to attend to. In all of that chaos, when life gets hard, when life gets difficult, and you really, really need to have that small conversation. A lot of psychologists have said that one small conversation with a friend, when you are at the crux of being uh, depressed or low or going through something difficult, can actually flip, your perspective just for you to know that someone is listening to you and gives you the courage to move on. And it does not sit inside as longer as it should. And yet we are here today. You know, the reality of all of it. We have a lot of friends who are not in India, who are living abroad. There's a time zone difference. And even with technology, with FaceTime, with everything at our fingertips, it's just about dropping that message. It's just about asking. And we don't give ourselves the permission to do that. I think it's very important. We definitely should give ourselves the permission to do that. Because it's a privilege we are giving the other person to help us. And we think that most people may not bother, but why assume? Reach out. Share that good news. Share that bad news. Just share the news. You don't have to be constantly up in someone's business. But if you have known that person for a long time and you genuinely care about that person most likely also cares about you. I was listening to Simon Sinek on the CEO podcast, and he said something very interesting about the 8 minute rule or the 8 minute conversation. He said that, his friend was going through something difficult and she had just messaged him, "Hey, how are you?" That's what most of us message. When we really need a conversation, we don't know what to text. So we just drop like a tester message to see if the other person is available. We say, "Hey, how are you doing?" There's no context to it. And he received such a message from her one day, and he was in a hurry, and so he did not respond because did not seem urgent, right? "Hey, how are you?" And later on, when he got the time to call her after a few days, she said, "At that point, I really wanted to talk to you because I was going through something and I just needed that conversation." And he felt so bad that he was not able to be there for his friend. And that's when he made a pact with his friend that next time she needed him or he needed her really to have that urgent conversation, that they would just message each other saying, "Hey, do you have 8 minutes?" And it's just that 8 minutes that can literally, and I'm, saying this with a lot of responsibility, that maybe save someone's life. Just that 8 minute conversation. And I think it's very important that we form such pacts with our friends, because I am guilty of that. I have had messages from my friends sometimes, and I have been in a very busy phase in my life, just, back to back. I was being pulled into something or the other, and I see that message pop up on my WhatsApp saying, "Hey, how are you?" And I just feel, okay, I'll get back to her when I have the time. And then days go by and I've forgotten about that message. And it's so common, it happens to all of us. Our minds are so preoccupied nowadays. So, I think I found it really practical. A big part of conscious living is being deliberate. And friendships are an important part of our life. They are the witnesses of our life. So, you know, this is something that I would request everyone to do. Talk to your friends as often as possible. Pick up that phone and call. If that person is busy, they're not going to pick up, or they may message you to call back. But not taking that action, thinking and assuming that the other person is busy, years go by and we don't realize that years have gone by. Last year, rather, I met up with very close friends of mine, and we had been planning to meet for, again, ages, and life got in the way. And finally, we could get the dates, and we could all spend 2 days with each other. And in those 2 days, we had such quality conversations, and we realized we had missed so much part of each other's lives because, we had assumed, why burden the other person with my sadness and my loss. And I genuinely felt sad that it's roles that we are playing. And if it's a role of a friend that I'm playing, I really want to be present. I really want to be there. There have been times when my friends have gone through some physical tragedy or a health crisis, and the distance has had been a big barrier that I was not able to be there physically to help them. But then at least I was able to call them, have a video call, talk to them, chat with them, and that also makes a difference. Something, anything that we can do to support each other. Actually calendarize it. I've been trying to do that consciously. Put that friendship video call, that group call on your calendar. As a part of conscious living, we have to give importance to things that add value, that add color, that add essence to our lives. It cannot just be work that gets calendarized. It cannot just be important events like somebody's housewarming or baby naming ceremony. It can't always wait. You can't always wait to celebrate or to connect with the people that you love with an excuse of having some kind of a milestone or an achievement in life. And it cannot always wait for big tragedies like someone losing a loved one. When we are constantly in touch, it doesn't then feel like a huge distance or a gap that has passed by. Then we are inviting our friends into our present life. Because as I keep saying, a part of conscious living is being present, living your life today, noticing it today. And wins also. With social media, all of us have become aware now of not sharing too much. Many of us have stopped sharing our photographs on social media, and for good reason. But we still have WhatsApp groups. We still have those friends who will appreciate. So don't keep your life so private also. They will be happy if you had a good evening with a loved one. They will be happy if you had fun with your children. They will be happy if you were celebrated at work for something. So be deliberate about opening up and sharing with your friends. Be practical as well, because yes, everyone's busy. But give yourself permission. Let the other person decide if you are, burdening them or not. And they will tell you if that is happening. But don't assume. Most of us are mature, and most of us realize the importance of that 8-minute conversation. So create those pacts with your friend today. Create a safe message that you can send. That means that, hey, I need you right now. Don't stop at, hey, how are you? Give some more context to the other person. Then let that other person decide if they have the time to call you back or make time to call you back and help you in a certain way. And calendarize those calls. COVID has given us a very good practice and also an idea of how group calls work, how Zoom calls work. Why can't we still continue it? Why does it have to be a pandemic? If you have friends that live abroad, you know, take out that time in your calendar, maybe once a month. Sit across, maybe with a cup of tea or even a glass of wine and cheese from your end, and have that small cafe online where you just get to see each other, even if it's 20 minutes, but just have that feeling of connection. I think that is going to drastically change our lives, the quality of our lives. To know that we have friends who support us, we have friends who genuinely like us, and people that will genuinely be there for us if we just give them the opportunity to be there. Allow people to witness your life and be witness to their lives as well. Signing off from this episode, your host, Corby.